Hello Aries, Aries Rising, and Aries Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card forecast for the week starting December 19th, 2016. Quick reminder for you guys, a whole bunch of announcements that I made on a recent video on my big news, what's coming up around the bend. Classes are up for enrollment for those of you who are interested in the tarot tutorship classes or the astrology webinars I've got going on in January. All of that is available on my website, integrativemysticism.com. And don't forget to come back the Wednesday, the 21st, this week, because I'm going to be doing a live talk on next year's astrology here on YouTube as a live stream at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so it's just going to be a whole lot. And if you want to check out that video on the big news, you can check that on the main channel page as well. That was recently uploaded. That'll talk about all kinds of other things I've got going on in the works, including more details on the classes as well. So, what is going on with your astrology this week, Aries? Well, in the very beginning of the week, yes, we do have Mercury turning retrograde in your 10th house of career. And it is also going to be in a loose conjunction with Pluto in the same area. And so from now until about January, in a lot of ways, Mercury retrograde is going to be revising a lot of plans, regulations, and rules going on in your career zone, possibly even at the office. This can actually be a very good angle for a lot of you, because what's happening is that we tend to see Mercury and Pluto come together when a rule, or maybe something that has been put into place or made official, needs to be torn down. This could be something that's been inhibiting you, holding you back. I would definitely say, though, it's not a good time to start or make anything official or make anything solid or crystallized this week as it relates to career, or anything for that matter the world over, just because of this conjunction on the 19th. But I would also say that we're going to be noticing a lot of past opportunities return as well, and this could actually be quite fortuitous. So it's going to start this week with a bang, but it's going to carry that opportunity to regain and restore and recover throughout the rest of December. Later on in the week, towards the end of the week, we've got Saturn and Uranus in a very harmonious connection between your 9th house, Sagittarius, and your sign. And what happens here is that we are bringing order to something that has been too much of a chaotic influence in your life, something that has been sort of your personal X factor. And this is relating heavily to a lot of 9th house matters. So the 9th house is all about your higher education, your licensing, whether or not you're able to actually travel, anything that you might be doing online, anything along those lines. We've got something coming along and actually, again, bringing order to chaos. So if you have had any kind of problems with slip-ups, flub-ups, people not necessarily actually working the way they should, or maybe there is something that we need to nail down that's been too inconsistent in these areas, even if there may be something a bit too chaotic regarding a legal situation or a conversation with somebody in power, this is going to actually turn things in your favor. A lot of this week is all about kind of stopping something that's gotten out of control in your life, and so you are going to be noticing as we get through the end of this week, there's going to be a big ease as you start the next. So, if there has been anything, as far as outreach is concerned, getting out of control, you have a nice support from Saturn, and yes, that exists. So what is going on with your spiritual advice and your cards for this week? Well, we do have the card of the Cunning Woman for your spiritual advice. And this card is basically saying, know when to keep your trap shut. I'm just going to be blunt with that there, because the Cunning Woman is all about, making sure that we don't automatically react to new things that are kind of proposed to us or shifted for us. We do want to be able to act at a moment's notice, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we should every single time. The Cunning Woman says that a lot of developments that are going to kind of drop at your feet this week, whether it's messages you get from friends, things changing at work, things changing with family, are not going to be permanent, and they're most likely not going to be the whole story in their entirety. It's not like this happens and it is what it is. It's not like that at all. And the last thing you want to do is jump the gun too soon and too quickly. I would honestly let things kind of develop, let things sort of cook, if you will, when you get the Cunning Woman card, because you may find out you're dealing with a completely different issue even after only a short few days. So it's not a good idea to start throwing your hat into any rings prematurely. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we have the Star card inverted. Now this card is a great card even if it's reversed, because the Star card inverted, I'm getting from this card is that yes, we do have something that is actually going to kind of come in and make life easier for you when it comes to either getting a job or, you know, actually progressing at work. Sometimes the Star card reversed can talk about somebody trying to make something up to you, or again, very much like that Mercury retrograde and Pluto connection, taking something out of your way. This could actually be bending the rules just a little bit in terms of making sure that, again, we're taking down something that has been made official, or we're stopping something from becoming official, especially if it's something negative, if it's an alteration to your finances or an alteration to your work schedule that you don't want. What I like about the Star card inverted, though, is that it also talks about something that's going to have even a bigger payoff once again. So instead of getting some kind of big news or you know, something that's going to substantiate this week, we get half now and half later. And this could actually be, again, in the form of money, or this could actually be in the form of sort of a promotion or upgrade that you're getting, you know, in increments over the next week, possibly through, you know, throughout the next 2 weeks. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends and your relatives and the others in your life, we do have the Ace of Cups upright, which is actually a nice card to have, especially for those of you that are looking to try and, you know, maybe build a bridge or get closer to a friend that has been drifting. The Ace of Cups upright can also show up as news regarding love, either coming from a friend or maybe a message of love about another that could be coming from a friend. So those of you may find out, you know, through the grapevine about somebody's interest or somebody's intentions for you, or that somebody may actually want to at least introduce you or facilitate that meeting. The Ace of Cups can also talk about somebody actually jumping up and taking your side in a matter where you really need some more backup or more support. Maybe you feel like maybe there's been a circumstance going on where friends and family aren't speaking up as much as they could, and you're the only one talking. Well, this week we are in a situation where I think that you'll realize that more people are in agreement with you, and now they have the spine to say so out loud. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Seven of Pentacles upright. And again, we do have this chance for, you know, a lot of you to learn a lesson about not acting at a moment's notice, okay? The Seven of Pentacles does talk about the challenges, letting things develop before, again, we react, before we commit to a reaction or to a response. And this could be, you know, maybe waiting an extra day or two to reply to that email, or to reply to that text message, or get back to somebody about a proposal. Because again, sometimes people blurt out a bunch of stuff and then they don't necessarily, and you know, and it's not the same from one day to the next. You know, and they may be asking for, you know, oh, you need to get on this right away, and it's like, no, you really don't, and you probably shouldn't, and that person probably shouldn't even be on it as much as they are. And the Seven of Pentacles is saying, can you avoid the temptation or even the pressure to, again, force something to happen more quickly just because it seems like the external wants you to? I think that, again, with the Seven of Pentacles as your challenge, it is, you know, the victor is the patient one this week. So again, there could be a lot of people succumbing to a lot of, you know, herd mentality, acting out of stress. You don't have to be one of them. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Six of Swords upright. Interestingly enough, a lot of this can show up for a lot of you Aries people as love opportunities possibly coming from afar. This could be love coming to you on a trip, or perhaps while your intended is on a trip, or perhaps even good news for those of you that are looking to close the gap in a long-distance relationship or a long-distance dating opportunity that you have been working on. And that is going to be a big focus this week, but it's going to be a very pleasant one. I also like the Six of Swords for those of you who are coupled, because it's talking about you and your partner kind of joining forces and agreeing to leave something behind that has gotten too dramatic or too difficult. You may be feeling like maybe there's a friend or a relative that you'd like to take some space from, but you're not sure if your partner would be supportive. It turns out they probably would be. I also like this because with the Six of Swords, you and your partner are most likely going to actually be in agreement on a lot of needs that need to be met by, again, cutting things off and cutting things out. So it could be a very healing and clearing week for a lot of the Aries people. So that is your forecast. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you all have a wonderful Yulma Christmahana Kwanzaa, because some people just don't like the term Happy Holidays, and that's what you're going to get from me. And I hope that, again, you just have a wonderful season no matter what you're doing. And of course, if you'd like to get a session with me or sign up for any of the classes, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.